Hi, welcome to Simple or Not Kitchen. My name is Melissa, and here in Simple or Not Kitchen, we take some of those online cooking videos and we put them to the test and let you know if they're simple to follow or not. And today we are taking this bowl of kale and we are turning it into salty and delicious kale chips. These kale chips are so easy to make and they are so delicious. You're going to love them. And kale is healthy anyway. It only has about 50 calories for every 2 cups and it's loaded with all these vitamins and minerals that are just so good for you. And we really don't need very much to make it. We're using probably about 2 cups of kale, and we're just going to season it up just a little bit. We're using a little bit of olive oil, and we're also going to use some salt and pepper, and then to give it a nice added flavor, we're using a little bit of nutritional yeast. You could also use garlic powder if you prefer, or any blend of seasonings that you like. One of the easiest ways to make this is to use a plastic zipper bag, and we're going to open it up and we're going to put our kale and our seasonings right inside. So we are using about 2 cups of kale. I'm going to be adding a little bit of garlic infused olive oil to my kale chips. If you don't have garlic olive oil, just regular olive oil will do. I'm not putting very much in, just a little drizzle, probably about a tablespoon. Then I'm adding some salt and pepper. The salt that I'm using is a lemon lime salt that I make myself. You can find a video for it here on Simple or Not Kitchen, how to make seasoned salts. I'm adding a little bit of pepper as well. Not adding a lot of salt and pepper, just a little bit, probably about a half a teaspoon or so. Then I'm going to zip up the bag and shake it a bit. The trick to making these kale chips healthy is just to not add too much of anything, not too much olive oil or not too much salt and pepper. I'm adding a little bit of nutritional yeast to give this kale an added flavor. Nutritional yeast almost adds a cheesy flavor to things, and it's really delicious. So I'm adding about a teaspoon, and I'm going to put it in the bag and we're going to shake it again. And after just a little bit of shaking, our kale should have a nice coating with that oil and those seasonings. So we are going to take a baking sheet. I'm using a cookie sheet that I've lined with tin foil. You could also line it with parchment paper as well. And I'm going to put my kale right on that baking sheet and spread it out. We want as thin a layer as possible. The trick to making this recipe is don't overcrowd your pan and don't use too much oil. And this is a good time to taste your kale, and if it needs a little touch-up of seasonings, go ahead and add a little more salt or a little more nutritional yeast or pepper. And then it is time to pop our kale into the oven. When it comes out, it'll be nice and crispy. Now baking it, I bake it actually at 250 degrees for about 35 to 40 minutes. Then I turn off the oven and I let it sit for probably about another 10 to 20 minutes. It'll come out nice and crisp, and those seasonings will bake right into the kale. It's actually really quite delicious. If you try this recipe, let me know how it turned out. And as always, thank you so much for watching Simple or Not Kitchen. You'll find more recipes, articles, and videos at PennellCentral.com.